Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Friday. It is February 21st, and it's the start of the race week over at Santa Anita. So let's get started here at Santa Anita. They have a first post time of 12:30 Pacific time, so that's 2:30 here Central time. And I do have a win bet I'm going to make in the first race. Now, this isn't... the price won't be too exciting. He is a favorite in the program. I'm going to make a win bet on the 8, Mr. Leisure. The horse is a favorite in the program, as I mentioned. 7-5 for Tim Yachtin, Frankie Dettori. Had this horse last time. It is a distorted humor. I like these distorted humors. They're becoming more fewer and far further between, that we see these offspring of distorted humor. But anyway, this horse won his last start. First time I was on the turf, the Yachtin put him on, and Flavian Pratt just basically pushed his horse out to the lead, and he ended up beating a field of maiden 50,000 claimers. And, so this is this next progression here of starter allowance race. I feel like this horse can repeat in this starter 50, and, Frankie Dettori takes the call. I think Pratt is out of town, so Dettori takes the call. No harm there. Certainly, Frankie knows what to do with a horse. So we'll make a win bet on Mr. Leisure and hope that we can get the 7-5 there in the first race with the 8 horse. So I'm going to skip over the next few races. We're going to go over to the 5th race. 5th race does start the late pick 5, and I do have a couple win bets within this sequence. The 5th race post time is 2:35 there Pacific time, so 4:35 here Central. This is a maiden $80,000 claim. So this is a mile on the grass. An interesting condition. They're putting these horses in for 80. Several of these horses have been running in special weights and can't get it done. So, they probably figured they're going to give some of these horses a shot, for 80,000. Little slower company. But if you want to claim the horse, connections are willing to lose these horses for 80,000. I've got 2 horses here, and I do have a win bet. I'm going to go with the 2 horse here is Big Leap for Jonathan Thomas and Umberto Rispoli. Now, they're putting this horse in for the 80,000 claim. She's run twice over at Santa Anita this year. Ran on opening day in a maiden special weight, which, just kind of an even race. I would maybe not even an even race, less than even. John Velasquez on the horse that time. The horse just kind of ran around the track. What I do like about this horse and why I'm going to make a win bet on this horse is I do like the progression and the improvement this horse showed in the second start of her career. So went back into maiden special weight at a mile on the grass. I thought this horse improved pretty nicely there. And, now they're putting this horse in. They're actually taking pounds off. So this horse is actually available for $75,000. Rispoli takes the call. I feel that Rispoli really, will make a difference here. He seems to time these late runners pretty well on the turf. And that's what this horse is. So 7-2 in the program. I think we're going to see 7-2 because I think the favorite's going to get, a lot of action. So going to put to 2 Big Leap at 7-2, make a win bet on that horse. And then I'm also, for pick 5 purposes, I will put what I think is going to be the favorite, who's the 5, Lee's Baby Girl for Doug O'Neill and Frankie Dettori. Now, this horse has been trying maiden special weights, in her entire career. And she's your classic maiden. 9 starts, 5 seconds in a third. We've seen these kind of horses in the past. We just seen one similar to this on Monday who disappointed and came second again. Lee's Baby Girl has speed, gets out there. She runs her, similar race every time, and then it gives it up in the stretch. Maybe the softer company makes her faster, and she holds on. I'm just going to put her in because, I'd hate to have Frankie Dettori take me out of a pick 5 in the first leg. So I'm going to put the 2 and the 5, and I do have a win bet on the 2 being Big Leap. All right, now let's go to the next race of the day. Next race of the day is the 6th race. This is a mile on the dirt. This is a second level allowance race, and they're able to cobble together 5 horses in this race, to make this field. I'm going to put 2 horses in. I do like the 4 Cowboy Mike for Bob Baffert, Juan Hernandez. That's the 7-5 program favorite. Cowboy Mike is probably a frustrating horse for the Baffert barn. When this horse is right, he certainly runs, but then he's, it definitely has its problems as well. So, he had come off a bit of a layoff and ran in mid-January, ended up running second in a 7 furlong starter allowance, ran second to Clampett, and Clampett's been pretty sharp lately. He came back to win his next race, so that was probably a good tune-up race. They're putting this horse in for this allowance. I feel like Baffert's really gotten lucky here for a second level allowance race to come up, this soft. Cowboy Mike definitely can win this race. Not that I feel like Cowboy Mike's a great horse or anything, but certainly fits here. So we'll put him in at 7-5. Then I'm going to also put the 5 horse who is Il Bellator. This is for Jose Batista, and Giovanni Franco takes the call. Now this horse is certainly run with a lot better than most of these. The questions on this horse are: is this horse just a synthetic horse? I mean, he's done all of his damage on the synthetic track with 4 of his lifetime wins have all come on the synthetic. He's run on the turf, he's run on the dirt. He's winless there, but he's run some good races. And what this horse has shown me is that he's run pretty well off layoff. So he's coming off a layoff. Last time we saw this guy was in the Long Acres Mile last summer, and working out well. The trainer certainly shows that from a limited number that he can get a horse off the layoff to run pretty well. So 4-1, we'll put this in here in case Cowboy Mike is just not ready to go in this race. So I've got the 4 and the 5 here. Let's move over to the next race of the day, being the 7th race. This is a mile on the grass. This is an allowance company race, 3-year-old fillies. And there is a claim condition on here. If you want to put your horse in for $100,000, you can do so. Nobody did that today in this. Well, actually, the 8 horse put them in for $100,000, so they're willing to lose that horse. But anyway, I've got 2 horses here in this race, and I do have a win bet I'm going to make. I've got the 5 horse, who's Canto della Terra for Phil D'Amato. Frankie Dettori takes the call today. This horse comes off a really nice race and her first start stateside. She had run a few times over in Ireland. So, your usual Phil D'Amato brings horses from, across the pond, and they seem to do well first out. This horse certainly fits that profile. She ended up getting a nice speed figure with Pratt on her, going 6 furlongs, which I think is going to be a live race that she won in. She goes 2 turns now, so that's the question is, will she be ready to go 2 turns? But I will put Canto della Terra in the race. That's the 5 horse. And then I'm going to put the 6 horse, which is Amarita. Amarita for Richard Mandela. Juan Hernandez takes the call today. Now, I had given this horse out last time she ran. She ran in late January, and there was a rider switch that day. I think it was when they were still listing Kimura on horses before it really came out that he was injured and couldn't ride for a few weeks. So that day, Tiago Pereira was the replacement rider for that horse, and I'm not exactly sure what Pereira was doing with the horse. I watched the film. I don't want to be overly critical of jocks because a lot of times there's reasons why things happen. But I was looking to see what in the world could have happened here. Did the horse grab the bit? Did the horse just end up pulling him? And I didn't see any of that. I just don't know what Tiago Pereira was doing by making this horse sprint, 22 flat and 45 and change in a 110 6 furlongs to just give it up in the stretch. So, apparently the connections didn't like his ride either because Pereira's not on the horse. They put Juan Hernandez here. I'm going to give this horse another shot here. She's 6-1 today. I think this horse has a lot of ability, and she's going to have a lot to give here. I do like her maiden win. That's what I bet her off of was when she broke her maiden over at Del Mar back in around Thanksgiving time. She won a big race there. And, I think that Hernandez certainly will fit this horse well. I mean, Hernandez is absolutely a capable rider there in California, and 6-1, I feel like Amarita is a good win bet here. So for pick 5 purposes, I've got the 5 and a 6, and I do have a win bet on the 6, Amarita. All right, let's go to the next race of the day, being the 8th race. 8th race is a 6 furlong dirt race made in special weights. These are nice horses. These are fillies, 3-year-old fillies. And, I just think it's a fairly evenly matched field. I'm going to put 4 horses in to get this pick 5 moved along. I'm going to put the 1, who is Surf Song for Leonard Powell. Ayuso takes the call again. This horse has run a few times in these maiden special weights. She's shown up in these races. She's run well. So, it's the kind of thing where, we'll see how good some of these horses are today. I don't know that there's some standout here that Surf Song couldn't get it done at 8-1. So we'll put Surf Song in here. We'll put the 2 horse, who is Cooey for Bob Baffert. Baffert has a couple in here, and I've got them both. Cooey gets Umberto Rispoli on her today. She comes off 1 start in her debut. She was a 3-5, 4-5 favorite that day. Ended up running a nice race from the rail. coming second to our Moonlight, who was really just storming home that day. So, they put Cooey at 6-1 today. I doubt we get 6-1 on a Baffert horse running like that. So we'll put Cooey in the race. Then I'm going to put the 6 horse, was the other Baffert. That's Brilliantly. Brilliantly gets Juan Hernandez. And this is a first starter, by Uncle Mo out of a Bernardini mare. And this was a $500,000 purchase. So, there's some quality there. Works look okay. They're not your usual Baffert works. This horse is 9-5 in the program. We'll put her in there. And then finally, we'll put the 7 horse Formula Rosa for Mark Glatt, and Mike Smith takes the call. And this horse is by Vacoma. Vacoma's had some nice winners recently, for a fairly new sire. This horse was a big purchase, $270,000 purchase. Workouts are okay as well. Mark Glatt certainly can get a horse ready to go first time out. So we'll put this horse in at 5-1. That's Formula Rosa. So we've got the 1, 2, 6, and 7 here in the 8th race. Now let's go to the 9th race of the day. 9th race being the last race, and this is the last race of the day, and this caps off the pick 5. So this is the 6 furlong grass race. That's on the flat grass, of course. $25,000 claiming. These are fillies. So $25,000. It's at Southern California. That is your bottom rung there for turf claimers. So, tough race. It's hard to rely on one horse here. Because like I said, it's $25,000, but these are bottom level. They run good races. They don't run good races. It's a little tough to key in on one horse. So I've got 3 horses here. Hope of having 3 horses to pay off here in the pick 5. I'm going to put the 1 who is unwritten code for George Parabon, Tiago Pereira on the horse. Pereira's been riding this horse the last several times. She does show a win at Del Mar back in the fall. Ran a good race last time at Santa Anita at a 32,000 claimer. So maybe a little lighter company here. So I'm going to put her in at 5-1. She certainly warrants a shot. I'm going to also put the 5 horse who is a real jewel. This is for Jesus Ramos, and Ayuso takes the call. Now, this horse, has also shown some good races on grass. Just kind of gets close, doesn't get it done, but, it's the kind of thing where you get a good trip, good ride. In this $25,000 claim level, certainly horse can come up and win a race. That's 8-1 on this horse, so, nice price here. And again, she's certainly run some nice races, at this level, in the past in Southern California. She comes off her last race. Ramos took this horse. Well, he claimed this horse from Bob Hess back in November and, had a couple just average dirt races. They ended up sending this horse over to Los Al, where she ended up winning one of those 1,000-yard sprints. And, maybe that just puts her, gets her kind of sharpened up for a race like this. So, I think that might be a good move here. So we'll put her in there, a real jewel with Ayuso. Then finally going to put the 8 horse, who will probably be your favorite. 8 horse being Dr. Ray D for Bob Hess. Umberto Rispoli on the horse. Rispoli certainly's got some live ones today. He could have a multi-race day. So this horse has been running in these claiming races as well. Shows a nice race last time at the 32,000 level. She ended up coming second in a nice race. Got beat by Tam's Little Angel, who's pretty sharp right now. So no shame in losing to Tam's Little Angel. So that was 32,000. She's running for 25, slightly lesser class. Some of the same horses are in here, so it's not a huge drop or anything. She's 3-1. I'm sure that she'll end up being the favorite here. So we've got the 1, the 5, and the 8. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the tickets. Okay, so today at Santa Anita, we've got some win bets, and we do have a pick 5 ticket that starts in the 5th race. So starting off in the first race, we do have a win bet in the first race on the 8 horse. That's Mr. Leisure. If you don't see fit, the horse is too short of a price, you want to pass on that, certainly understand. I'll put a couple dollars on that horse, Mr. Leisure. So let's move over to the 5th race. 5th race starts to pick 5. We've got the 2-5 width, 4-5 width, 5-6 width, 1, 2, 6, 7 width, the 1, 5, and 8 in the last race. Now today, that pick 5 ticket's a $48 ticket. I think it's worth it. As we've seen at Santa Anita, if you beat a couple favorites, boy, this pick 5 really pays up. It goes up exponentially. So I think $48 would be worth it here. And then again, we've got the win bets. In the first race, we've got the win bet on the 8. In the 5th race, we've got the win bet on the 2. And then in the 7th race, we've got the win bet on the 7. In the 7th race, we got a win bet on the 6. That's Amarita for Richard Mandela. So as always, if you want to bet as is, I'm wishing you the best of luck. If you want to add or subtract, You can do that too. Bet the pick threes within it, bet the daily doubles within it, bet the pick four within it. You've got to do what fits right for you for today. So whatever you decide to do, I wish you the best of luck. Let's wish the folks over at Santa Anita a great, safe day of racing. And I do thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today. As always, I ask you to do me a favor, hit the subscribe button for me if you don't mind. Like, dislike, make comments. I promise to respond to everything. Let's have a wonderful day at Santa Anita on this Friday, February 21st. Let's, again, great day of racing at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita.